Hello, everyone. This is my first ever video recording thing for my podcast. Not used to doing this, but by the way, this is my face. I know. Sexy. But not as sexy as my guest today, Mr. Jason Marsden. Claps, applause. Oh my God. Hello, Jason. How are you doing?
This guy? Yeah. I'm doing great. How you doing? How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good. I just saw Eternals last night. How
was it?
Here's the thing. Do you know about all the Rotten Tomato reviews right now for that movie?
Yeah, I've seen the uproar about the review.
Dude, I don't understand. Like, it's at a 49% right now.
Yeah.
Which is not the best, but
no.
It's not a 49% movie. That's what I'll say. It's not a 49% movie.
Well, I don't live my life by what Rotten Tomatoes says.
Facts, I love Rotten Tomatoes for the drama at this point.
Sure.
The drama is just too good. But
so
anyway,
what percentage would you give Eternals?
I would give it around like an 81, 82. I'd give it a little bit higher because it's not the worst I've seen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, let's be honest. But it was just a lot of fun. But
right on.
Anyways, for those who don't know who Mr. Jason Marsden is, he is literally the voice of your childhood, period. He really is. Let me just list a few things you probably heard Mr. Jason Marsden in. Spirited Away, Haku, Lion King 2, Kovu, one of my favorites, Young Justice as Bart Allen. And also, I gotta throw this in there because I loved this TV show as a kid. And I literally just found this out about a week ago when I found out I was going to be interviewing you. Superman, the animated series as young Clark Kent during the pilot.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. I don't think you realize how much I've watched that pilot. I had that on DVD. Just
right on.
And I was like,
right on.
The Smallville section, amazing.
I just got an email from the lovely Andrea Romano. I don't know if you're familiar with who she is. Just out of the blue. She's retired now, and I hear from her regularly. But she sent me an email just to say that she was doing some research for. I think she's doing podcast interviews now, and she was reviewing some of the work, and she watched that episode, and she just emailed me to remind me that what a great job I did, and thank you for being part of it. And I was like, man, that's pretty awesome to get an Emmy-winning director to remind you that you're pretty good at what you do.
Right, you're like, man, I guess I did a good job, huh? I guess I didn't wing that, but also, how could I not mention Mr. Max Goof himself?
How could you not?
The Goofy movie, extremely goofy movie, and Twice Upon a Christmas.
That's right.
Throwing that out there.
Yep.
Mr. Jason, how does it
feel? The disco.
Yes. How does it feel to be a holiday staple in households around the world for Halloween and Christmas? You have to be one of the most rewatchable actors of all time at this point, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I hope that my participation doesn't make people ill of watching those things, but it doesn't. It certainly hasn't slowed down. And how does it feel? It feels great. I mean, you work on something, you have no idea how people are going to receive it, and it trips me out that people are watching Hocus Pocus sometimes year round, but that it's like a traditional viewing, like I watch A Christmas Story, every Christmas. Like that's what we got to watch. It flatters me to no end, and I just did a reunion panel with some other cast members from Hocus Pocus, and we're all just staring at each other through our screens, realizing like we're probably gonna be doing this for the rest of our lives. Like this is we're gonna grow old looking at we're literally watching ourselves grow old.
How was that reunion? You had a good time?
It was great. I joke because, like, for me, it's like being invited to a high school reunion, even though you only went to the school for a day, because I didn't work on the movie until it was much later. But I do know Omri from a previous show I worked on. I do know Vanessa Shaw through mutual friends. I know Larry Bagby, who played Ice. So it was good to see them again. Haven't talked with Omri in a while, but it was I loved hearing them reminisce about their onset experiences. That was exciting for me.
Now, I'm sure, I don't know if you've seen the news, but they released the cast list
I did. I saw that. Yeah.
for Hocus Pocus 2.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you know any insider stuff about Mr. Thackery Binx because, he did go through the gates of heaven at the end. But
Yes.
what excites you about this sequel coming up?
For me, and I'm not being false modest. I mean, of course, I would love to be part of it. No, I have not gotten a phone call. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I think it's, from what I understand, and I only know what I've been piecing together, but I think it's more of a prequel sort of thing. But for me, it's the witches. It's the performances of Bette and Sarah, Jessica and Kathy. Their synergy is what, to me, really makes that movie so entertaining. It's like watching the Three Stooges, It's like what's going on with the three of them. So to see that, that's what I'm excited to see. And if it is a prequel, I'm excited to know more about the Sanderson sisters, where they came from, and all that. And then if it's a big hit like the other one is, then maybe they'll do something with Thackery or everyone else. I don't know, but I'm just excited to see it like everybody else.
Tell me, what was probably the most hilarious day on set for Hocus Pocus? What's one day that was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe I witnessed that in person?
Well, actually, like I said, I wasn't on set when I worked on the movie. I came in a couple months after they finished filming.
Right.
The movie itself was about 85% complete. Even Thackery was mostly animated. My participation was a last minute decision. Sean Murray, who plays the human Thackery, he was hired to play human Thackery and do the voice.
Right.
And then at some point, the producers wanted something different. So I have no on-set recollections. Although, let me back up for a second. I was working on Boy Meets World on the lot when they were shooting Hocus Pocus, so I did visit the set just to say hello to Omri. I didn't witness anything hilarious.
Right.
But a memory I can share from the darkness of my of the vocal booth on the Disney lot is you're in there for 4 to 6 hours and you're not seeing any daylight and you get a little loopy, and there's that scene at the end where Thackery turns back into his human form and he says goodbye to Danny, played by Laura Birch, and he leans in and he says, I will always be with you, and he leans in and gives her a kiss. So I had to do the line and do that sort of sound. But for fun, when I said the line and he leans in, instead of giving the kiss, I went
oh, you're wrong.
And I don't know why they didn't keep it in. I thought it was, he was a cat. Maybe he's stuck in cat mode and he wanted to lick her face,
right?
Like a cat does. I don't know, but that was my participation for the gag reel.
They should exactly. I was gonna say, dude, you gotta put that in the bloopers, gag reels, special features, man. Yes. Let me ask. Do you miss DVDs?
Oh, good question. I mean, I guess not. Only because well, first off, I have my DVDs. I haven't gotten rid of them. I have not been the one to have do I require that tangible thing? I kind of maybe am nostalgic for the process of going to a video store and selecting things. Yes. But I don't know. I'm kind of, and I'm not big into change, but I have adapted the streaming accessibility. I do like that.
Right. Because honestly, what I miss about DVDs, when I was a kid, even when I was 5, 6, 7, 8, I watched the special features way more than the actual.
Oh, same.
I was so into special features.
The Lord of the Rings, the appendices. It was some of the best making of behind the scenes content.
Yes,
absolutely. And they do have that with streaming things if you buy them. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It's that content, the artwork, the way they package the things. It's
Yeah, and I wish, here's the thing. On Disney Plus right now, whenever there's a new, at least Marvel TV show or something like that, or even for Mandalorian, I believe, they do a whole behind the scenes special that's an hour long. It's okay, it's just the regular, they're interviewing them. The Mandalorian one was pretty cool because it was just all the directors at a round table.
Yes, I like that. I devoured all of that, yeah.
But there's nothing like the old special features of say the Jurassic Park DVD, where it's you can click through a whole slideshow of the artwork of an entire scene, and here's commentary.
Yes.
Thing of the past all of a sudden.
You're
Like,
right, and I do miss that.
mhm,
I'm surprised that's got to be a very easy feature to add to any sort of streaming service. You're like, press this button, you get subtitles,
right.
you get language. Why not make the language like
Hmm.
a commentary?
So let me ask, if you were to
Yeah.
do a commentary now, if you were to choose any commentary for any of your old past movies or TV shows, what would you like to just deep dive into?
Oh, I think a Goofy movie would be
Mm,
fun. I'd love to do that with me and Billy. I
yes.
don't know if he did it. Did he do it, or Kevin Lima, our director, did it? But
Uh-huh.
it'd be fun to talk about that
Right.
with everybody. That's something I would never um, get tired of looking at and
Yes.
talking about.
Me too. Like we really
Why
have that in common. I cannot
not?
stop talking about Goofy movie, man. This is an important question. Do you remember the pizza in Goofy movie?
No, I don't. But thanks to all the memes, now I
Uh-huh.
do. I'm like, what? I didn't really.
Dude, how bad do you want to eat that pizza?
I want to eat that pizza real bad,
Oh
Eric.
my
I don't.
God.
I won't lie. I love pizza. But I
Yeah.
did not register the effect that was having on everybody. On everybody.
I don't I'm gonna tell you, like, I probably watched that movie first time when I was like 4 or 5.
Sure.
Um, I never realized what hungry meant ever. My parents be like, "Are you hungry?" Don't know what you're talking about. Watch
Yeah.
that movie. I know what you're talking about. Like, and I just love the Goofy movie so much. I can't thank you enough for the work you put into that movie.
Thank you, my man. Dig it.
Super important to everyone around the world still. Let me tell you. Let me tell you
Tell me.
this.
Tell me.
You know, there's a Disney app now. It's called Disney Plus. Heard about
Yes.
Disney Plus, huh?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. And you know how there's all these spin-off shows.
Yes.
There's all these new shows of like, oh, this is what's happening to Loki after Avengers. This
Yes.
is after Return of the Jedi.
Mm.
Um, you haven't played the role of Max since the After Today short on YouTube when you fully embodied Max Goof.
Yes.
If there was to be a Disney Plus spin-off show
Mhm.
centered around Mr. Max Goof, how would you envision that show?
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, I'm trying to talk with somebody about something like that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I imagine if it was Max centric, I would like to pair him up with maybe some of the other siblings or family members of the family,
Mhm.
like Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and maybe Mickey's nephews, and Webby,
Yes.
uh,
Good
and more
choice.
like an adventure, like Goonies sort of thing. I think that would be fun.
I think so too. And like, here's the thing: I have so many Max Goof questions because we just haven't seen Max Goof in
Sure.
media for a long
Where's he
time.
been? What's he doing?
Yeah,
Who's he with? What's he wearing?
yeah. And
Yes.
I'd say you are friends with Max Goof, so I'm sure you know more than anybody.
Sure.
Does Max Goof have a favorite Avenger?
Favorite adventure? Good question. Max would probably dig Black Widow because she kind of reminds me of Roxanne.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Good
Yes.
choice. Good choice. I know, and like, as you know, this is a One Direction podcast as well. We talk about all the One Direction boys. I know
Okay.
Max Goof is a huge fan of Powerline.
Yes.
Eye to Eye is a banger to this day.
Yes.
Would Max Goof be open to listening to One Direction?
I think Max Goof definitely has probably a playlist including One Direction.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad we can
Story of my
confirm.
life. It's a good song.
Story of my life. Max
Yes.
Goof would bang to that.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
riding down on a skateboard. Story of my life. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, this is important news. I don't think you realize that's going to go on TikTok and it's going to get like 1 million views.
Story
Confirmed.
of my life.
Give it to us. Yes.
Holding tight.
Thank God.
I'm messing up the lyrics.
Yeah. We're vibing. We're doing a good thing. But awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Now, this is for us actors and actresses who listen to this podcast because there's like 5. So I want to make sure the 5 people get some representation in here.
Dig it.
Let's go back in time, my friend.
Okay.
Let's talk about the beginning.
Yes.
What got you into this world, this madness that is the actor?
Well, I mean, probably the copulation between my mother and father.
Classic.
But that's not how far back you want to go.
Mhm.
Moved from I was born in Rhode Island, biggest little state in the Union.
Hmm.
And long story short, my stepfather got a gig teaching ballet at Fullerton College in Fullerton, California. So we
Nice.
relocated there. And a few months after being there, it was suggested to my parents that your son, he's adorable. How old is he? 10. He's 10.
Hmm.
Should get him in acting. He'd be great. And my parents went, cha-ching, what a great idea. And they sent me to a workshop. That workshop trained me for 12 weeks. They sent me to an agent. That agent signed me immediately.
Wow.
And then, like the next day, started sending me out on auditions, commercials, movies, voiceover,
Hmm.
television,
Wow.
every day. And my mom would have to pick me up. I loved it because I had to get picked up early from school because Fullerton
Mhm.
is like 45 minutes away from downtown, not from Hollywood.
And like even longer now. Like,
Oh, even longer. Well, it's still longer then with the traffic and all that.
man. Oh God.
But yeah, just going back and forth and auditioning, and there was a lot of trial and error, a
Mhm.
lot of quick success, and then I landed my first recurring role on a soap opera, and then I landed my first television series called The Munsters Today, where I played Eddie
Yes.
Munster, and that's
Yes.
really kind of what set the tone, because it was like a good 3 years of a TV series that got my name out there, and more opportunities happened.
Little off topic. Did you hear that the Munsters are coming back?
Yeah, with the Rob Zombie movie, I saw some footage, a photo of it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh, I heard
that
about
was
it.
happening.
Everyone
I
was
didn't-
like, he's gonna mess it up. I'm like, I don't know. I personally like Rob Zombie. I think he's a
Mhm.
great film director,
I agree.
and I know he has love for the genre,
Right.
and the for the Munsters.
Mhm.
And actually know Butch Patrick, the original Eddie Munster. He and I are buddies,
Ah,
which blows my mind.
I love that.
Yeah,
But no, I feel.
he went to visit Rob Zombie. I hope he's getting a little cameo. But
Mhm.
but my friend Dan Roebuck, who I did not realize until I saw this photo, he's playing Grandpa, and Dan Roebuck is outstanding comedic actor, and I know he's having a blast. I think they're shooting in Denmark or Germany. I can't remember which.
Mhm. That's
which
what I heard.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And that's the thing. I'm like, Rob Zombie's not the worst director. I saw the discourse on Reddit,
Oh, everyone's gonna bitch about everything. Everyone bitches about Michael
every
Keaton
day.
being Batman and all this, and we all have to put our 2 cents in. Let's just sit and wait and see what happens. I've
Right.
confidence.
Because I was like, I'll be honest, I like that Halloween remake he did. It's
I
weird.
did too.
I thought a lot of us liked it until I, go on the internet and then, the word's different. But honestly, I'm so excited for the Munsters to come back because I think it's
Me too.
time. I think it's time. Adam's
Me too.
Family had their time again, so now it's
They did, and I love the Addams Family and the movies. I didn't care for the animated features too much, but
yeah, me too.
the live actions are great. But yeah, I was always like, why they
Mhm.
tried to redo the Munsters? They tried to like reinvent the wheel. I'm like, you shouldn't. I mean, there's something like you don't have to. I mean,
Yeah.
my version was a little bit broader, but if they just recapture, what the original was trying to do, just the innocence of it.
Mhm.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, I love that tangent we just had. And moving back, tips and tricks on auditioning. A lot of people read, Michael Shurtleff's auditions, reading books after books, going to classes.
Sure.
I want to know what James Marsden books of auditioning are.
I don't know. I'll ask James when I talk with him.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me, Jason Marsden,
Jason, my bad.
it happens.
Classic.
James doesn't have to audition anymore. That guy.
Yeah, whatever. He's boring. Moving on.
The secret is, definitely like read the books and stuff. There's all sorts of tips and tricks, but for me, and my process is different from everyone else's, or it might be different, but I found my approach is to, are you allowed to curse on your podcast?
Yes, absolutely.
Give less fucks, to not care as much
Fuck yeah.
about it. I don't rehearse as much as I used to, because if I rehearse, I'll get locked into a performance. And then when I'm auditioning, my mind will get screwed up because I'm like, oh wait, that's not how I practiced it. You have to allow the differences to have to happen. You have to allow the organic things to happen. That's what makes actors unique, So I would say, try to memorize your lines. They say you don't have to.
Yeah.
For on camera anyway. Try to get really familiar with it. Always practice in sort of like a monotone. Don't perform it. And then when you're ready to go, just like you like, trust that you know the words, and just whatever happens, let it happen. And then the real trick, the real secret about auditioning is when you're done, you got to forget about it. Otherwise, you're going to go crazy. You're going to go crazy. And especially now, there's so much more competition than there ever was. And I don't recommend doing this. In voiceover wise, I looked just out of curiosity. It's like, how many things did I audition for last year? Over 500 different projects I auditioned for last year. You know how many I booked, Eric? One.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say. Oh man.
One. And it gets depressing. But ultimately, Eric, and I'm trying not to be egotistical about this, but I encourage all the actors who are listening to trust that they know themselves. I know that I'm really good at what I do. I know that there's a place for me in this industry, and just to keep moving forward, like a shark.
Beautiful. Put that on my gravestone. Like that whole speech. I need all of that. How do you feel about self-tapes?
I actually like self-tapes because I get nervous in auditions every time. And as much as I've done, I've never been comfortable in the room at an audition. It's so many personalities and so many things, but self-taped, I have all the control, and it could be a detriment. I don't know, but now I'm like, I can go over it. I can do a retake. I can take as long as I want. So self-tapes for me, I personally, I don't mind.
That's the thing, because I'm an actor. Like, I grew up doing theater and everything, so I've been very used to just in-person auditioning for stage and everything. Moved to California just a couple of years ago to start to do film acting and whatever else I can do.
Right on.
I've still not been able to do in-person auditions just because of everything
that
obviously happened over the past year. But because of the past year, I've been doing TikTok, and boy, has that helped big time. Like, whenever there's like a self-audition or self-tape audition, I'm like, sure. What's so different from the 3-minute videos, 1-minute videos I post on TikTok anyway?
Well, the difference is instead of this, you just do this.
Period.
That's
period.
Turn your phone and make sure you got you have your plain background there. That's the frustrating thing that I feel for especially young actors these days, is that the casting really wants it specific. Like, make sure that you got a background and good lighting and this. Make sure you're looking at this point of view and stuff. It's so rigid. It's also a good learning thing because there is a technical aspect to film and TV acting that everyone should know.
Right.
But yeah, do I miss going into rooms as much as it terrifies me? I do kind of miss that one-on-one connection for sure.
Right. So I'm sure, like, do you have any acting books that you probably recommend yourself?
No, man. I mean, there's a class that I went to when I lived in LA that I can recommend. Steve Easton's acting studio. It's in, I think he moved, but I can email that to you off the
right.
I have the technology. Let me look it up right now.
Yeah, you're like, we have the technology. We can rebuild him.
The eastonstudio.com.
Nice.
I found it to be incredibly rewarding. Steve is you'd know him if you saw him. He's been in tons of shit, and he teaches the Charles Conrad method, and it helps someone like me because I grew up doing a lot of sitcoms. And I'm so used to kind of like moving around and gesturing and stuff, and he's very much like, no, when you're auditioning, you should be sort of still, not move around a lot. And the process is you go, you kind of volunteer, you go to the class, you volunteer with another actor, and you sit in front of one another and you make eye contact, like I'm doing with you right now, through the digital, and then you suggest a scene. We look over and we grab a scene number. We don't know what the scene is. We don't even know who the characters are. It says like he or she or just a couple of names, and then you do it cold. You just grab a couple lines and you say it, and it kind of pushes you to that. This is what I was talking about before, just emoting whatever you feel whatever it says, and then you'll do the scene next week memorized. But I found it incredibly beneficial. Even if you audit, you can audit for free. But I highly recommend Easton Acting Studio. Tell them Mars sent you.
Tell him Mars sent you, baby.
Tell Mars sent. Tell that big guy I miss him.
That's right. Large Mars. Yeah, I'm about
Large
it.
Mars.
Large Mars. Thank you for the recommendations.
You bet.
Super helpful for my friends listening today.
Excellent.
Now, again, this is a movie podcast, baby. I love movies. I know you do.
Movies.
You got that Jurassic Park shirt on.
Yes, I saw this 8 times in the theater. That's how much I loved it.
Let me tell you how much I've been trying to see Jurassic Park in a movie theater. It's been a shit show, my friend.
Yeah.
Like, every time tickets go on sale, whenever it's at AMC or wherever other theater.
Oh, they go like that. Well, yeah.
Like, and as they should. I'm glad this movie is still making money. What's funny about, I love that you're wearing this shirt actually, is Jurassic Park is actually what inspired me to become an actor.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I was watching Jurassic Park, I wasn't terrified. I was excited. I love dinosaurs,
Yeah.
I remember watching Jurassic Park and watching Dr. Alan Grant and the other kids running away from Gallimimuses and the T-Rex.
Yes.
And I was thinking, so to meet dinosaurs, I have to be an actor?
Yes.
To touch dinosaurs, so the acting to touching dinosaur pipeline is like this, apparently.
Yes.
And now here I am at 25, still on my way to try. Someday I'm gonna be
this much closer to dinosaurs.
Yes,
Eric.
Yes. And what was it? Like that scene with Sam Neill laying on the Triceratops, like feeling the breathing. I was like, when's it gonna be my turn to be happy?
Have you seen the video that some genius did where they replaced all the dinosaurs with a cat?
Oh, that black cat. Yes. Oh my God, he's breaking through like the T-Rex gate.
Yes, I don't know how. I mean, that must have taken an incredible amount of work, but that was cracked me up.
That's the thing. I need those like visual effects, like artist react guys to like react to that, because those effects.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Like, was that like just some kid in his basement, or was that like someone who works at Weta? Like who did that?
Can you imagine? It's
Make
just
yourselves known.
It's just this intern at like Stan Winston, just like, I never get the work I want to do, so
Yes.
I'm just gonna do everything online myself. So that was my movie that inspired me a lot throughout my life.
Dig it.
Tell me about it. What's yours, my friend?
My movie that inspired me. I mean, they've all inspired me. I mean, gosh, it's hard to pick just one, Eric. My favorite movie of all time is Indiana Jones and Last Crusade.
Ooh. Top tier choice. Oh,
yeah. And I was fortunate enough. I actually got to go to the set one day, and I had my picture taken with I have it around here somewhere. I have my picture taken with River Phoenix.
Ooh.
And so I'm watching them film, and then and that movie just it speaks to every part of me. The music, the action sequences, the locales, the performances. Like that's always something I've kind of wanted to do, and I was already acting at the moment, and then after I was doing the Munsters at the time, and after the Munsters I did Erie, Indiana, and Erie, Indiana was like little tiny movies, like little tiny Twilight Zone movies, and so that was, I guess, watching like Spielberg movies and action movies like that is what inspired me to.
Fantastic choice.
Yeah.
Like Last Crusade. Look, I get it. Raiders of the Lost Ark, iconic, changed the game. Temple of Doom, moving on. Last Crusade, man, like that. I feel like not a lot of people talk about the whole like father-son dynamic of that.
Sure.
Film. Like that made everything. Like,
yes, it did.
And that's a movie I still need to see in a theater. Like I'm all about the theater experience. It was so hard last year.
Indeed. I did miss going to the big auditoriums and seeing all that.
Do you remember the first movie you saw back in a movie theater since then?
Yeah, I took my son to see Shang-Chi.
Yo, okay, yes.
It was great.
Oh,
I didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of that character. I wasn't really a comic book collector growing up, but I loved it. I loved it.
Dude, the action in that movie too.
Yeah, fight choreography, the third act with the more
Mm.
fantastical things that are happening. I don't want to give it away for anyone.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like, I'm gonna need my Jason Marsden like Shang-Chi scene soon. The whole bus scene, but you are Shang-Chi and you're just going crazy.
I would need 3 stunt doubles to do that.
Dude,
I
oh my
could
God.
not do that.
Well, good. I'm
I
glad
know
you
my
made.
limitations now.
I'm so glad you made it back to a movie theater, man. Because the movie theater experience, like, I was so scared for a second.
Sure.
Like, I was really like, I'm reading all the discourse online, Twitter, everything. Everyone's saying like, why would I need to go back to a theater? Everything's streaming anyway. Tell us what you love about the movie theater experience.
Well, during the pandemic, what did we have available? We got to see Soul, that was released, that Pixar movie Soul, and
Yeah.
there was something else I watched, and I'm watching these movies going like, wow, this is great, but boy, there's some sequences that needed to be seen in a theater that were made for theater. And I have a modest TV set. My TV set's like 40 inches. So the experience, and you're just in your living room. When you go to a movie, you'll pick up on things because it's a communal experience. Like people might chitter or laugh at something like, oh, what did they laugh at? Oh, I missed that. Or oh, they're laughing at the same thing I am. Or we're all collectively holding our breath because, the velociraptors are chasing the kids in the kitchen. Plus, not to mention the scope of it. Like, I don't care how big your TV is at home. There's nothing like the technology in a movie theater. And that is, they're always trying to level that up, and the sound, the 360-degree sound. It's the communal experience, man, and that's not something you can find in your living room.
I agree. Do you love snacking?
Who doesn't?
What's the go-to, baby?
Oh, just popcorn.
Yeah.
I don't drink soda, but I'll do like a Coke sometimes.
I don't snack as much anymore.
No.
But when there's a day when I just really want to just eat, and like I get so hungry, I'm bad. I get the popcorn, but I also get. Are you familiar with cookie dough bites?
Oh yeah, you drip them in. You put them in the popcorn. Yeah.
Dump them in there. Dump them in, and then I learned this on TikTok, or it was either TikTok or Twitter, but someone recommended if there's like a self-serving butter machine, you get the straw. And you put the straw in the middle of the popcorn and then put the butter in through. So the butter just seeps in throughout the whole bucket. Yeah. It's a whole thing. So what you do is you get your popcorn bucket, right?
Yes.
You get literally a straw.
Uh-huh.
You go to that self-serving butter machine.
Yes.
Click the button, goes down into the straw, into the middle of the popcorn. So it gets every single layer possible.
Oh, interesting. Oh, little butter movie theater hacks. I love it.
I cannot recommend it enough. Because sure,
you've done this, Eric. You've done this.
I'm guilty. All
right, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot next time I go. I usually don't do butter on my popcorn, but I'll do it.
Now was Shang-Chi the last movie you just saw?
In the theater, yes.
Yes. If anything, I know we just talked about Eternals at the beginning, but I'd say definitely check out Eternals because
I intend to.
Yeah.
In the theater. Yeah.
Marvel movie theater. But that's even better because just like you, I knew a bit about Shang-Chi before I saw it. I didn't know fucking shit about Eternals, anything. Like
I don't know anything about Eternals either.
Exactly. And honestly, that made for it. It made for like, okay, this is what this character does? Sure.
Do you get excited about trailers?
Hella excited. Let's talk about that Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
Yes,
dude.
Well, I was kind of baiting you into a conversation, but I agree with you on that. Like, there's certain content that I do get excited about seeing trailers for. Movies I can't wait to see that I'm going to see anyway. But I just feel like there's the trailers that give away too much of the plot. I kind of avoid it. So I haven't even looked at anything about Eternals because I don't know anything about it. I don't want to get tainted by that information because sometimes it's much better just to go in completely unaware.
There was two movies I saw. Okay, this is a tangent, but it's going to go into a great conversation.
Let's hear it.
The year 2014 was probably one of the last greats, in my opinion, when it comes to film history. 2014 was an insane year. Like, if you ever just look up a list of movies that came out in 2014, you would have been like, wow, this is this was a year that happened. This is a banger year.
Yeah.
And mostly I discovered that year the ability to not watch a trailer.
Yes.
That was the year. I saw Whiplash in a theater, had no idea about it. Saw Birdman, no idea what that was about. Nightcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like thinking, I'm like, I'm dumb. I'm dumb for like had to watch these trailers, and had a good streak of like staying away from trailers that I knew were going to be like artsy, Oscar winning, blah, blah, blah movies.
Sure.
But man, it got worse once the pandemic hit. You know what I mean? Because I was like, are these movies going to come out? I don't know. I mean, I should probably just watch this trailer for a movie that comes out in 3 years because of everything that's happening, you know?
Sure. I'm looking at the list of the Wild, Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, I didn't know. Also, like,
crazy.
You know, a little bit of a cheat, but I get screeners.
Yes. Oh, man.
They'll send me things. And sometimes they don't tell you like what it's about. You just kind of plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
But I've found to try to not look at trailers anymore and just go in and see, because the trailers are crafted by the studio. I think that the director has some input, but I'll try to see how the director intended for you to consume their story. You know.
Now, to play devil's advocate a little bit, favorite trailer? I have a favorite trailer. Do you have a favorite trailer you ever seen?
Gosh, that's a great question. I have to go through the Rolodex in my head. Tell me yours while I'm thinking.
Okay, I was insane for this. So this was also the year 2014. Wait, no, it was the year 2014. I was in college. The word on Twitter and on the streets was that the first ever trailer for Star Wars: The Force Awakens will be premiering Thanksgiving weekend.
Sure.
In theaters at like all these participating movie theaters around America, around the world. And you could see it for the first time in like any movie theater you want. Okay. And I remember that was literally on Black Friday in November. It was the weekend Interstellar came out, fun fact. And I woke up, I go on Twitter, trailer's available on my phone. I'm like, hell no. Yeah. No way. I'm not doing that. And like, I'm looking on Facebook, whatever, everyone's talking about it, everyone's like sharing the trailer, whatever. I'm like, no. It's in theaters right now. Yeah. I can watch it on IMAX right now. I literally had my phone off, went to the theater, like just shield my eyes, you know, throughout any social media, whatever. Went to the theater. When I went to go see, I saw Interstellar, and then the trailer played right before it. That's all I thought about the rest of the movie. Like, yes, I enjoyed Interstellar, but the whole time I was like, what did I just see? You know, like, oh my God, it's a new Star Wars. Like, it's been 9 years at that point since Revenge of the Sith. Like, what's happening? I just couldn't think. That trailer shakes me. Every time I rewatch it at least once a year. And I'm on. Good choice of trailer. Right. And I'm just brought back to like that like initial excitement of like, fuck, Star Wars is back. Yeah. Back, right on. You know? Yes, we need to wash away the sins of the other ones. Many sins, but yeah, that would be my choice. Nice. I think I don't know what this popped in my head, but the first trailer for the first live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, dude. I don't remember that. They never showed the turtles. They just showed like little action things. It was super dark and I wasn't even a fan of Ninja Turtles. I watched the cartoon. I kind of looked at the comics, but it was so interesting and intriguing, and I love the movie. I saw it a few times in the theater, but that's one that popped in my head. The ones that really draw you in with that leave you wanting more. Yes. Instead of giving you the whole plot. Exactly. Just showing you like the key sequence of the key portion of an action sequence. Like, save that. Save that excitement. What was the movie that just? Oh, have you seen Dune yet? I have not. Okay. I heard it's great. I'm not a big Dune fan. I've never read the books, and I did not like the David Lynch version. Right. Like, I was like, my expectations were on the floor, to be honest, even though I love the directors, actors, whatever. So that was the movie I actually recently tested. I watched only that first trailer for Dune. It came out last year in September, when the movie was supposed to come out in 2020, but obviously it did not. I saw that movie a couple weeks ago. Loved it. Can't recommend it enough. I think you'll have a good time. After that movie, though, I watched these two other trailers that were released this year for that movie that I just did not watch at all. I did not want any part of it. Mm-hmm. Wow, they're still spoiling movies, man. They still are to this day. They showed like the whole like third act, the whole, whatever happens. Sure. Literally what happens to characters. They showed one of like the twists, and I was just like, do we need to be spoon-fed everything, audiences? Do you think they need to be spoon-fed that?
To me, I don't think it's about wanting to spoon-feed audiences. I think it's, people forget it's a movie business. It's not movie friends. It's not show friends. It's show business. And the business of movies is that when you make a movie, there's a lot of people who are higher ups who watch it and they try to figure out which audience is good for. Is this going to be merchandising? How they have predictions, like how much money it's going to make. And if they feel like it's going to fall short, then they do something like give you trailers to try to bring in as many people as possible. And that to me is a reflection of like, well, you're just not confident in this movie. Makes me want to watch it less. But you and I are tainted. We're in the movie business, so that we're looking at it from a different perspective. But that's the way it is, kids.
Yeah. Jason, dude, are you a box office guy?
Oh yeah,
dude. I feel so seen. Oh my god. I only have like one other friend to talk about box office, but like I always stress it so much on this podcast. Like it is literally the most important thing, like the podcast numbers and like, do you
ever listen to a podcast called Showbiz Sandbox?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That is the best podcast about our industry, in my opinion. First off, the hosts are great. I love it when they bicker.
Oh my god. They're like, sometimes I'm like, are they friends or not? But
exactly, because they seem so opposite. But one of the first things they do is they break down the worldwide box office, and I love when they started saying like, they don't say weekend box office anymore because it's not the weekend, because they start releasing films on Wednesdays now.
Yes.
Back in the day it was Fridays. Now it's like Wednesdays. So you have to include that in the weekend box office. So it's like, but it's that game. It's like the studios are trying to make it as impressive as possible. So look how much money we made on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. What about Wednesday and Thursday? That helps. That helps, guys.
Right. And the way that it's been, like they were talking about a lot about this too, now that like the whole streaming thing, now that's a whole new element that never existed 10 years ago that we have to worry about now too.
I can't wrap my head around that. That's I could see why they're scared, because they're approaching brand new territory.
Right.
Crazy. And I like box office, but I don't like it because studios will say, like, even if the movie's like crap, they're like, but it's a hit. It made $100 million. Yeah, but it's not good. Doesn't matter. We're going to make 10 more.
Cough, cough, Transformers.
Oh, yes. Oh, give me where you started.
$1 billion? Like, whatever. This is the world.
Good for them. Good for them for ruining my childhood.
Yeah, me too, my friend. My God. But, so, and speaking of like box office, like I just read like the box office report just today for Eternals. And, I was thinking about how they're talking about Thursday night numbers.
Where's it at now? I haven't seen it.
It made 9.8. It's the third biggest opening Thursday night. It beat out Shang-Chi. It's right behind Venom and Black Widow. Everything's Marvel, baby. If you're not Marvel, you're not making money.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
But I was thinking about it, and it just made me think about like how back in 2012, I went to my first ever midnight premiere. Midnight.
Okay.
And they still used to do that.
Yes.
And as for the Avengers, as we know now, that movie changed the game. Comes to Marvel and the movie blockbusters. But I also just miss midnight opening nights, like right at like the first minute of a Friday.
Yeah.
Did you used to go to premieres like that?
Oh yeah, I did that for Star Wars Episode 1.
Yo.
I did that for the Indiana Jones 4. I love this. Gosh, it's a lot of disappointment in those midnight movies.
Isn't it though?
I guess so. But I did that for some Harry Potter movies, and those weren't never disappointments. I liked all of those. I had a friend who used to work at the AMC Burbank theaters, and
Wow.
they would before they would open the movie on Friday, like the day it was supposed to open, and it was on film, actual film.
Mhm.
They would have to watch it to make sure that the film didn't have any scratches or any problems in it, and they would do it like after hours, like 11 o'clock, and he just invite friends. So we'd come in and get to see it for free, sneak us in. I watched
Hell yes.
a lot of movies that way. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, but again, that's another like communal experience. Gathering outside. You're all there for the same purpose to enjoy this
Mhm.
experience together. Yeah, I don't think that'll ever go away. I
Mhm.
really don't. It'll just be more tentpole stuff as opposed to you know uh,
Yeah.
art house things.
I was talking about this with a friend of mine. Are you familiar with The Last Duel?
No.
So that's the whole thing right now. So literally, a movie came out last month called The Last Duel,
Mm-hmm.
starring Adam Driver, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, directed by Ridley Scott, and also written by Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Holy
Like
shit! Oh yes, I heard Matt Damon talk about that. So it came out.
it came, it came
But,
out.
as I question, it came out. But no, oh really? A Ridley Scott movie? Isn't that
Ridley
funny?
Scott,
Look
and
at those all those actors, those big actors.
and like the second, like the return of the Goodwill Hunting boys, who won the
Yeah,
Oscar back in the '90s.
right.
Like, how insane is that? That a movie with those names
Yeah.
it completely bombed. Completely, nobody saw it. Do you think
Wow.
there's room for movies like that in theaters anymore?
I mean, I think there should be, but there isn't.
Mm-hmm.
That no one's gonna pay to go see movies like that. They'll when they're available on our screens.
Mm-hmm.
Romantic comedies,
Right.
they're slowing down the funding on those, especially for theatrical releases because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's going to see the Mindy Kaling comedy. They're
Right.
gonna watch it in their living rooms. Yeah, it's all gonna be tent poles. What
Mm-hmm.
I do get excited about is that they're gonna have to keep pushing the envelope. So I think effects and big exhibitions they're gonna get bigger and better. I have no doubt.
I
But
agree.
we'll never see anything experimental,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Like, here's the thing. I know the future's a little bleak, a little bit for Hollywood. Things are like kind of, up and down. But I know your future's not bleak, my friend.
Oh shucks.
I know your future's not bleak. What? Tell us what's next for you. What's next for Mr. Jason Marsden?
Eric, I'm still auditioning. I'm still, that
Mm-hmm.
full-time actor that's always auditioning. I have a couple of cartoons that have been released. Young Justice is out right now on HBO Max.
Yes.
Season 4. Phantoms.
Mm-hmm.
I did a couple of video games. I did a Scooby-Doo movie that'll be released next year.
I love it. Okay.
And I'm working on a live action feature film in Tennessee right now, a horror film that a friend is directing called The Other People.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a show that I produce on YouTube called the Mars Variety Show, and I would love for anyone to please just check it out because it's like my version of like Burt Sugarman's Midnight Special, all these variety shows of the '60s and '70s, and it's designed to showcase the local musicians and stand-up comedians here in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
people who are outstanding, who are playing a lot. But I'm like, you need to be seen by more people. And I host it. I put it together. It's on YouTube right now. Our third season just dropped in its entirety. You can binge it. But please, yeah,
Perfect.
go to Mars Variety Show on YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button. That's what helps the most.
Right. Jason, I'm so excited for your projects coming up. Like,
Thanks.
you're the most talented
What about
voice
you? What's
actor.
going on with you? Tell me about being an actor in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's like anymore.
being an actor in Los Angeles right now, a lot of self tapes, baby.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of self tapes
You
in
getting
person.
callbacks? Are you getting attention?
I just did a callback 2 days ago. It's for a virtual reality video game,
All right, right on.
right? And they made me, do a whole sign the NDA because they were like, it's for like a horror film coming up next year, and we don't want you
Sure,
to
sure.
spoil whatever.
Yeah.
Don't really know what it was. Even the script I was given, I was like, this could be
Oh
any
yeah.
horror film ever because there's like a killer. I'm like, okay, there's killer in anything.
They're,
But
they're doing that a lot. I noticed that with video games. They do it under a pseudonym. They won't tell you what it is.
mhm.
I read for a couple of things for Disney that I know are Marvel projects, but the script is very basic. They won't tell you what it is.
Right. And
Yeah.
watch, you're gonna get the call next hour. You're playing Spider-Man. Anyways,
What?
and you're in No Way Home, so you'll be in the post credits.
Yes, I'm revoicing all the cats in the movie.
Yes, and I didn't have time to bring this up earlier, but there's not only a multiverse coming in Marvel right now, but obviously there's one coming for DC.
Mhm.
Tell us, is Bart Allen in the Flash?
Oh, I have no idea.
And you're in it. I know you're in it, Jason. I know you're playing Bart Allen.
Maybe I'm being coy. Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
I know it. I know you shared a scene with Michael Keaton, and
I did all my scenes with Michael Keaton. Yes. It was Crash. I say that line all the time.
Cannot wait. But so before we leave,
Yes.
5 movies must sees. What are they?
The Commitments, an Irish movie about a bunch of white Irish dudes that form a soul band, and it's an Alan Parker film. It's one of my favorites. Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Moonrise Kingdom, one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies. Let me give you something good. How about Popeye? Robert Altman's Popeye.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Robin Williams' first movie. It's fucking bizarre. It's a musical. It's outstanding.
Underrated banger. Underrated, dare we say. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Jason, thank you so much, my friend.
My pleasure.
Thank you
so much.
Of course, thank you for coming on the show. We hope to see you again.
I hope so too.
Again, guys, check out the Mars Variety Hour. What are you doing?
Please come do it.
What are you doing? Why are you listening to me right now? End this podcast.
It's not even an hour. It's like maybe 20 minutes of your time.
Exactly.
Do that.
Come on,
Yes.
Jason.
I hope I get to do a scene with you sometime. Maybe I'll self-tape or something. You're self-taping, and then we'll end up like booking it together.
Perfect.
Wouldn't that be great?
I'll send you my script right after this. Perfect.
Excellent.
Awesome. Great. Awesome. Jason, thanks again. Peace be with you. Cannot wait to talk to you the next time.
Take it easy, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Bye.